It's the Two Strange Men. Welcome to Two Strange Men.
A very spooky episode of Two Strange Men that we've definitely thought about.
That's what happens when you say you're going to do the really crazy intro with like 2 seconds to go. My brain just goes, eh.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
We could just sit here and go, eh.
I'd be fine with that. We could do a Morse code
episode
thing. So,
oh yeah, that'll drive listeners forward. Yeah.
Yeah, but you say that, right? Mm-hmm. But I went to I was away from work yesterday. I took my son to London.
Yeah, I was very much aware.
And yeah, I know you were because I'm so super missed. But while we were there, we kind of wanted to make a day of it. So after the appointment, we went to the Postal Museum.
The Postal Museum?
The Postal... All right. All right. Just, yeah,
are you trying to
you
go
on
to
the mail,
sleep?
You can go on the mail rail and there's like loads... There's like a light show. You're in this tiny little train and there's a light show and projection mapping. Fuck off, it was good. It was really good. But in there was a phone that you could do like Morse code to and you could listen to the Morse code.
Oh, yeah.
Some fully grown adults were there the entire time we were there, like the hour and a half, just doing this one Morse code thing.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So, like, you say that, but there'd be some guy going, oh, that's an A, oh, B, horse, you know?
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
So, that's for you.
That's not Morse code. That is let me in.
Yeah. Speaking of letting people in.
Letting people into their darkest, deepest, secret dreams.
Dreams, yeah. So we're continuing on, aren't we? And we discussed last week Freud, Jung versus Freud.
Yeah.
Freudian, Jung.
We definitely went down a very early psychoanalytic tangent with dreaming and things like that, didn't we? Yeah.
I liked it. I thought we got to the heart of the matter. We definitely hyper focused on two.
Yeah.
On two kind of. I don't have a brain today. I've barely slept. On two theories, and we're going to delve into some more. But I thought I would share a little bit of a personal thing with you first.
Okay.
And this was not planned.
Is it better than the Postal Museum anecdote?
Do you know what? Shut your mouth.
I had a prophetic dream in which I took my son to the Postal Museum.
Yeah, look, it was a good trip. Anyone out there, I'm not being paid. I'm not like advertising it, but highly recommend.
Okay, speaking of a good trip, I think I'd probably need to be on magic mushrooms to enjoy that to your level.
If you got into that tiny little car on magic mushrooms, I promise you, you'd have a heart attack.
Oh wow, okay.
It's a tiny little train. Like I struggled to sit in it. I'm 5'4" for anyone that's never met me, and I struggled to sit in the train.
Okay, so Tom is fully endorsing the trip to the London Postal Museum. If you ever want to go there,
LD, there. I don't know the postcode.
Is it free?
No.
Oh, God.
It's quite expensive.
Quite expensive as well.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And with the annual ticket, you only get to go on the ride portion once. But the exhibition, you can go all year round.
Oh, dear. Are they struggling financially, perhaps?
No. It's a bloody good museum.
All right, okay.
And my son liked it.
All right, I'm going to stop now.
So, I had a dream last night.
You had a dream last night,
that was stuck perpetually in the Postal Museum. No, so I had a dream, and I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Because it kind of goes on to the first point I want to make about lucid dreaming.
Right.
And this idea, it kind of connects what we spoke about last week about the subconscious and using things of familiarity and shifting focus to things. And I shared my vampire dream.
You did,
last week. And I think this is a similar sort of thing where my brain is trying to compartmentalise loads of different things of my busy life.
Yeah.
Right? So, there I was.
Yeah.
Little old me.
Yeah.
And for some reason, so some of this dream is quite innocuous, and some of it's just really weird.
Okay.
So I was dressed of, the anime Akira.
Yes.
All the bikers.
Yeah, were you dressed with the
pill
with the blue and red pill motorcycle jacket that Canada has?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
yeah. So I was dressed up like that, and I was teaching. And I was teaching a group of like 20 to 30 like nondescript people. I've never met these people.
Yeah, with your matching red motorcycle gloves.
Yeah. But very strange.
I want to see this.
and as I was teaching them, somebody came in and they were like, I know what's been happening. And then all of the like the young people, they're kicking off, right?
Yeah.
And so it turns out that all of them have been kind of like giving their lunch money to like this anonymous source.
Right.
And also they've been stealing from people and they've been disengaged in my lessons. And I'm like, I've got to get to the root of this because this is a good class.
Yeah.
And they're doing criminal activity. So I get on my motorbike.
Futuristic motorbike.
And I'm like, I'm going to another like college that I also work at.
Yeah.
And turns out through like it's basically like a detective Magnum PI type movie, but like obviously it's a dream, so I'm kind of flitting, and I find out it was the English teacher.
Yeah.
And as I go and fix it, and they're like, "Oh no, leave him, Tom," and I'm like, "No, I'm gonna punch the bastard," right? And as I punch this English teacher who's been extorting these kids for millions of pounds,
Yeah.
my fist kind of inverts on itself, and I get like trapped into like a dimension, and then Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh is telling me like that I'm in the dark dimension.
Yeah.
And I've got to listen to the Heart of the Cards to get out, and then that was it. I was
Okay. Do you want me to interpret your dream for you?
Please do. This is what I was hoping you were going to do.
Okay, so I've got 2 bullet points that I want to share with you. Okay, so what your subconscious is trying to tell you is that you are, to an unhealthy level, a weeb. Okay?
Yeah. This is the conclusion I drew too.
An otaku, or someone who's just too into
bloody nerd.
The anime. Yeah. Secondly, okay, you notice how none of what you ended up doing with like the motorcycle and everything like that is actually part of your job.
Yeah.
You should probably just get on with your job of teaching students rather than racing around on a motorbike punching English teachers.
And now you sound like HR from last week.
Well, I sound like you. I'm constantly berating you. It's like, have you done that little very, very basic small task I've asked you to do? No. Why? Oh, because you've gone on an adventure where you've talked to lots of people and helped them out and stuff. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, can you do that little thing? No? Because you're on another adventure now? Okay. All right, look, I'll see you later, Tom.
I just disappear into the ether. Like, I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for New York with Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's your problem. Okay. Got to keep things into perspective. Yeah. You are a teacher.
So, are you the English teacher that puts me into a void in this scenario?
I have never knowingly extorted a child.
Okay. Yeah. That's good to. That's good to frame that.
And that is the title of this episode.
I've never knowingly. Good. So shall we kind of cross that into this idea of lucid dreaming? So
okay.
To clarify, that dream was not a lucid dream. I didn't have any kind of awareness over the fact that I was dreaming.
Yeah.
When I woke, I just could recall it. Sorry, he scribbled that down, and it's right in my eyesight. And all I can see is like extort child.
It's like a to-do list.
Yeah.
Is there a particular child, Carl? No.
It's
just
like,
that I need to extort a child
Tom
today.
said they got millions off of that.
Yeah. I mean, like my goals today are to walk 10,000 steps and to extort a child.
Yeah.
Like that's fair.
Everyone has to have goals.
Everyone has to have goals.
So, it wasn't a dream in which I was aware I was dreaming. Although, I've had dreams where I'm aware of a dream state. Have you ever had a dream?
Well, no, we've talked about this. I have not. I've not had these dreams. I guess. I mean, like. No, yeah. I mean, like, previous episode I did talk about this weird dream I had where I was like half awake, half asleep, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know if that was fully like a dream or whether I was actually walking about. Maybe it's a bit of both, you know. I don't know. I mean, like, I always wonder what it's like for people who are sleepwalking, you know.
Yeah.
Like, are they aware? Is it a dream that they're having? Are they aware of any sort of memories afterwards?
I feel like that's a whole different thing, right? Because with lucid dreaming, I've lucid dreamed a lot. We've established that from a dream perspective, I'm all over the place. Like lucid dreaming refers to the state of like when the dreamer becomes aware that they're dreaming.
Yeah.
So you can have a dream that's not lucid that becomes lucid later on.
Yeah.
Right, so it doesn't have to be so rigid that you're aware the whole time. What's interesting with lucid dreaming is that there are different states of lucid dreams.
Right.
So sometimes dreamers can like exert control over their or perceived control of their dreams, so they can manipulate the dream that they're in.
Yeah.
For me, whenever I've lucid dreamed, it's usually when there's a nightmare and I want to be out of the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I'm taking steps to actively trying to wake myself up. Because I'm like, this is not a dream that I want. I'd rather, wake up and have a nice dream. So I'm actively trying to wake myself up in the dream.
Okay.
That's the most common lucid dream that I have.
Yeah.
I don't have these, superhero power fantasies where I'm aware it's dreaming and I'm, changing my dreamscape or whatever. It's usually I'm scared and I know it's a dream and I don't want to be dreaming that anymore. So quite often there is this element of a control, or you can take the dream in a direction. You can kind of manifest, instead of just being told a story, right? You can manifest that and manipulate the dream. From a scientific perspective, lucid dreaming presents a hybrid state of consciousness. So we were talking when we first started this about two separate states of being: the mortal self, and then the mortal state ceases when you're dreaming.
Yeah.
And even outside of Greek mythos, it's always separated in two states: the conscious state and then the unconscious state of sleeping.
Yeah.
Lucid dreaming represents a hybrid of being conscious and being in a dream state at the same time.
Yeah.
Sleeping yet with wake-like awareness. So you kind of, your brain is on, you're processing like you would if you were awake. Recent studies have investigated how lucid dreaming differs, though, neurologically from ordinary REM dreamers. What predictable markers might herald lucidity, and what potential applications there might be for that. Like, can you actually take a lucid dreamer? And we've all seen the sci-fi shows, right? You get a lucid dreamer and they walk through. I mean, Inception is essentially that, isn't it?
Yeah. You
place someone inside of dreams and they can get up to the subconscious of something. So the idea of that has always been there. So continuing that kind of scientific rigor, right? Research into sleep sciences shows that during lucid REM sleep, so not normal REM sleep, when someone is constantly experiencing lucid dreams, lucid REM sleep, there is an increased psychological activation in their brain. So higher REM density, changes in their EEGs, and increased signal complexity with what's going on in the brain. You know how, synapses are firing all the time when you're asleep.
Okay.
In lucid REM, that's even more complex, and it's firing off at a higher rate compared to the non-lucid REM sleep that most of us experience most of the time. So it's a lot more hectic. A lot more things are happening. There is, because of that, an interest in inducing lucid dreams reliably via kind of behavioral techniques. So we're all aware of like CBT and those types of hypnosis and leading kind of therapies outside of the subconscious. Are you aware of that type of thing?
I mean, I'm aware of all sorts of therapies available, but I'd never pay for anything, so I'll never experience it.
No. Like hypnosis for trauma victims, right? I think it's a similar sort of similar sort of thing, where you give someone agency over their dream, you put them into a subconscious state, and you allow them to lucid dream. So
I don't even
potential.
think. I think even like the idea of like sleep therapy and stuff like that. Like there's companies and things that perhaps even work for the NHS and stuff like that, which would probably get you to come in and sleep so that they can monitor you and stuff like that. It's just like you could probably just give them the data from your Google phone or whatever these days, like and like have a camera on you. Like it would like cost an awful lot less.
Well, I mean, like a lot of this kind of like new wave kind of observatory therapeutic practices are really to reduce the risk. Well, I've got a list here. Reduce the risk, the severity of nightmares, improving emotional regulation, treating PTSD, anxiety, the kind of stuff that you would kind of expect. So it very much is like an arm of CBT, right? Very much like cognitive behavioral therapy, but while you're asleep.
I couldn't imagine being at a position where I would want to actually like unnaturally reduce the amount of nightmares that I have, I guess. But if it's through like natural therapy and things like that, then I guess you solve your problems in waking life, and then you don't have that problem in a nightmare.
Well, here's the funny thing, and it kind of reminds me of when you take antidepressants.
Yeah.
And you read the back of any antidepressant.
Yeah.
The biggest side effect is that you might feel depressed, right? And you have an increased risk of suicide, an increased risk of kind of low mood.
Yeah.
And that's always just kind of stuck with me. Like,
yeah.
But you're taking them to solve that, right? But and this is the same sort of thing. So the risks of this is more sleep disturbances.
Yeah.
So, false awakenings, interfering with sleep quality that can then potentially create more nightmares.
Yeah.
So you're trying to reduce something, but the treatment can make that worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, just really interesting. So the phenomenon, I always think the word phenomenon.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the BN advert? BN, do, 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 do. BN, boop, 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 boop.
Which is an offshoot of like the Muppets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they had a bit where they were like BN, nom 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 nom. And every time I have to do something that's like monononon.
Yeah.
Like monononon. Because they do that in the Muppets, and I just realised I've made an idiot for myself.
No, that's fine. But that's specifically BN specific because they do the nom 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 nom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're cool.
Okay, good. At least I haven't made an ass of myself this week yet.
Yeah, you've got into the heart of that reference.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah. And this is what we're here for. Really obscure 90s references. That
UK-based 90s references that no one outside will ever get.
But they could Google it and they leave us enriched.
It's like a biscuit Nutella sandwich, all right? That's all you need to know. It was an advert.
You're like, all right, just get over. I'm sick of the allegations. I'm sick of the questions. So the phenomenon of lucid dreaming does raise some interesting philosophical questions about consciousness. So what does it mean to know you're dreaming?
Yeah.
Just because you have an implied sense of urgency doesn't mean that you do, right? Just because you think you have control over a dream state, you're not even sure if...
Maybe you're just dreaming that control.
Yeah, exactly. So how does metacognition operate in sleep?
Yeah.
What is the boundary between the waking self and the dreaming self?
Yeah.
What is the relationship between lucid dreaming and mental health? And that last one is being explored. So some studies show that lucid dreams with agency correlate with better well-being.
Yeah.
Others show associations with disassociation, anxiety. Because I've already said that I'm lucid dreaming, I'm now reading out the bad stuff going, oh, fuck, this is me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I think Freud had all this covered. We covered this last week. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone just needs to go off and have sex with their mother. And then just get it out of the way.
I mean, that's not how I remember the episode.
And then the bad dreams will stop.
That's not how I remember the episode. don't remember us ever.
It was a
coming to
team
that
up.
con-
It was a team up. Jung's like, oh, the archetype of the mother, and Freud was like, oh, have sex with that archetype of the mother, and you feel good. Yeah, let's all
And
dance
then
to
you
dance
were,
music.
then you were like, and they just invite all their mothers
right.
into like
a motherly disco.
Good. Are you gonna write that down as a potential episode name as well?
No, that's
Motherly
fine.
disco. I've lost where I am. Yeah. So on one hand, you have this,
Jung, it's
this
okay.
idea-
You can take your top off.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. We're all doing it.
I love
Carry
how, like, when you do any kind of philosopher, I've noticed this. You go into the guy in Frozen that's like summer big summer blowout. You do the exact same sort of like. So on one hand, you know, you've got this idea of like better well-being because you feel like you're in control and you can manipulate those dreams to better kind of organize. And then you've got the other side that says actually it shows a level of disassociation with your kind of states, this anxiety of lack of control, so you need control in your dreams. Overall, though, lucid dreaming sits at an intersection of like loads of different sciences, so neuroscience, psychology, spiritual practice, and, as we've discussed at length, culture, and they all kind of intersect.
Yeah.
What was really interesting in terms of this was in a large multinational study, because we've established many times that culture definitely dictates the way that our brains interpret things.
Yeah.
Right? And we talk about that a lot, almost every episode.
Yeah,
we come
totally. It
back
comes
to
up a
that.
lot, doesn't it?
Many people reported frequent lucid dreams during COVID-19.
Right. Okay.
About half of those with lucid dreams report some ability to influence the content of their dreams.
So
which
I mean,
is higher
like, is
than
that
normal.
like, can we just like make kind of some spurious assumptions as to why that is? Like, is it because people are isolated and they've got less like external stimulus
Yeah.
that's like
no
that exciting?
No agency, right?
Yeah.
No agency, no urgency. Everything just kind of shut down.
Yeah.
I mean, for a good 3 months, everything just halted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, some of us were still working remotely. I remember that I was, at the time, part of like a special needs department. So we were continuing lessons, but we were continuing them online, and we had reduced days, right?
Yeah.
But besides that, then it was just me and my wife like hanging out.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, awful. I'm not one of these people that was like COVID-19 was horrible for me.
Yeah, I give everyone the quiet side eye when that happens. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was terrible.
It's like,
yeah,
I had
all that time in my house.
I had an awful time. Like, it was socially acceptable to like get takeaways and to sit and play games in your downtime.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have felt like if I was in your position. I had kids.
People enjoyed
At
the
the time.
parks more.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's terrible.
I had a good time. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say it.
Yeah.
For me, wasn't terrible.
Yeah. Bring it on again. No, I mean, like, obviously, it's going to be difficult for other people.
I understand that everyone had a really bad time. It was a national crisis. People were sick. But in terms of, like, the time period being at home, it was okay for me.
Yeah.
So then, I feel like that's like a big thing to say. But I don't know why.
It really shouldn't be.
So the induction techniques we talked about earlier about like getting someone into hypnotic sleep.
Yeah.
So some of them are like dream journaling, external stimuli like light and sound cues to try and time the REM sleep. But they do actually have technology like masks and devices that they're actively researching to put people under, specifically at that point of lucid REM. And the reason I kind of wanted to end on that is because sometimes we read these things and we do research, and I just leave the pod thinking we're getting closer and closer to a bad science fiction movie with every passing, like, with all the research being done to, like, on all these different things. If one of these things comes true and is, like, mass adopted by, like, corporate America, we're screwed.
Oh, yeah. I will be talking about that in a few moments myself as well. Yeah. So it's a great lead on, really, to one of my topics. We're going to be looking later at dream decoding through neuroimaging. But before we do that, we're going to go...
We're going to go to an advert break.
We're going to go
Welcome to the Postal Museum, where we've got...
We will not have adverts because we don't have a lot of audience. But if more audience knew that we don't have adverts, we'd get more adverts, then we'd get audience. Okay, see the quandary that we're in?
Yeah.
It's best to just leave it alone. Keep listening,
with
get other people
box of adverts.
with Schrodinger's box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in a state of, like, middle.
I mean, to be fair, we are literally in a box right now.
We are.
Yeah.
It's getting depressing.
No, it's fine. I love being in this box with you, Tom.
I wish I could share this sentiment.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. One of these days, I'm going to punch you.
Right in your silly mouth.
Right in your silly mouth. Anyway, so we're going to move on. Now, you're always complaining about words you can't pronounce, okay? Yeah. And I'm not. I'm just not that type of person.
I know what's coming because I can see it on my screen.
I'll say it confidently myself. Okay?
Can I try it first?
No, you can't. Oniromancy and prophetic and divinatory dreams. How would you say oniromancy?
I don't think that's a hard word.
Say it.
Oniromancy.
Fine. You heard me say it.
No, but I don't think that's hard. Compare, like, if you then go, like, so there's a word later, and once you get there, I'll bring it up. There's way worse than that.
Okay, I'll just say it now. The dream book of the god Zakiku is the Iskar de Zaziku.
And I knew that's... I love how you knew that's where I went.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Fantastic. Well, it just goes to show that I am better than you and you deserve a punching. Okay? Yeah. So come here.
Ow, my silly mouth.
That's it. Yeah, get back in the corner. This is my box, all right? I'm
it's okay. You've asserted your dominance both on the conscious plane and the dream plane.
Okay, all right. Good. All right, so should we put in a little footnote there for the audience to say that I didn't actually hit you, just to make it clear?
No, if you're going to throw hands, then they need to know.
All right.
Yes, I am perfectly fine, and there is no damage to my silly mouth.
Yeah, he can take a punch. Anyway, okay, so neuromancy is essentially the practice of interpreting dreams as messages or omens even coming from gods, yeah, or spirits, ancestors, or other supernatural forces, yeah. And in many ancient societies, dreams were not kept as a private psychological experience, but they were public, they were political, and they were used for religious communication as well. Okay, so in Babylon, Egypt, Sumer, Greece, and beyond, they had dream interpreters or seers, which held influential social roles. Yeah, they could forewarn these dreams of droughts, disasters, or dynastic change. The king will be murdered, and so we're going to have a new king, etc. Yeah. So in Babylonian culture, for example, now I've watched the Ghostbusters film, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and the original one with my son quite recently, and the ghost god thing is all about like Assyrian, Babylonian, Sumerian, like history and stuff like that. I can't remember what it's called now, like Zazu or something like that. And he wants like there's two gatekeepers, and like so two dogs end up possessing two people, and then they have sex, and then that means that then the god can come about and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and it's got some spooky vibes to it, and I've got that in the back of my head whenever I think of anything Sumerian, Babylonian, stuff like that. And there's a lot of demons and divination and stuff like that within that sort of ancient Middle Eastern culture, really, which is interesting. And this is no exception. So in Babylonian culture, there's a manuscript. There's quite a few different manuscripts, but one of the surviving manuscripts that we've got is the Iskar de Zaziku, which is the dream book of the god
That's the one you dribbled on.
The god Zakiku. Yeah, so it should be Iskar de Zakiku. Okay. And essentially, what it is a detailed guide for interpreting different dream symbols. It's like a dream manual, and you go in dream interpretation, and you get all sorts of like modern day examples of this, all sorts of websites and stuff like
there's
that.
There's a whole like self-help book section that's all about dreams.
Absolutely,
detailing
and this
dreams.
was no exception. This was just the Babylonian version of it. Yeah, so they are a series of 11 tablets. Yeah.
They managed to get everybody's dreams all down to 11 tablets.
Well, no, it's just a guidebook for, like, trying to deal with your dreams, etc.
I love this idea. Do you remember, like, in the early 2000s, you'd buy a magazine and there'd be, like, an almost flow chart, and it's like, do you, do you kick the dog, yes or no? And then it goes to, the dog bit you. Do you react, yes or no? And then it goes, Section A, you're a psychopath. That's how I imagine these tablets were. Like, did you dream about fucking your mother? Yes.
Freud, get out of here. I don't necessarily think they had flowcharts, but they had something very similar. So I can go into a bit of detail there. So I've done a little bit further research into what these would be like. I found it really difficult to find the dream book, Iskar Zaziku, but what I was able to find at least was just a little bit more information about it. Essentially, there is quite a few different texts that haven't survived, but this one is fairly complete. So we've got a version of this which was found from the library of Ashurbanipal, but it was copied from an old Babylonian original. Yeah. And essentially, it cross sections is different visions or dream types. Yeah. So messages directly from a god, reflections of the dreamer's state of mind, and also prophetic dreams as well. Okay, today we're just looking at that idea of prophetic dreams. But what's interesting is that this permeated culture for the Babylonians to quite a high level. Yeah, the interpreter or dream questioner, or even dream diviner, could be essentially a professional that you seek the aid of, drawn from any of the scholarly disciplines in Mesopotamia. Okay, so for example, an Asipu, an exorcist, or a Baru, a diviner, a Tapsaru, an astrologer, a Mahum, who's an ecstatic, a Ragimu, who's a prophet, and commonly a woman or prophetess called a Ragintu. Yeah, so loads and loads of different scholars and things like that who've got their Babylonian versions of the PhD, etc.
It was clearly very important to them to be able to understand their dreams. Then, if there was set it sounds like there was a hierarchy, almost like an office.
Yeah,
of the office of dream workers.
Yeah, absolutely. There's records from the Library of Nineveh that include tablets from a collection from a diviner. And also of an exorcist from Nippur. Yeah, so the idea of ancient Babylonian demons and things like that that permeate into our culture and stuff like that. You think of the Omen and stuff like Pazuzu and stuff like that. They end up going off to Iran and stuff like that. I think in those films, etc., to explore there. You had an exorcist as a big part of their culture. Which is quite interesting. But anyway, just getting directly into the Iskar Zaziku dream book. The only sort of simple quotes I could find on this was a comment on Wikipedia, actually, where they talk about how there was an extensive use of puns to explain the symbolism of a dream. Okay?
What, as in, like, jokes?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. So we've got this idea of this being all very serious and stuff, and demon exorcists and things like that, and then just like cracking a few puns in there as well. It's all props to the author, I guess. But I'll give you an example. So, if a man dreams he has eaten a raven, he will have income. Okay. Now that is a pun because in their language, a raven is arbu, and then income is Urbu.
Okay.
Yeah. So look, these interpretations, you can treat it with a pinch of salt, okay? Because they are leaning on the puns at points.
Yeah.
Because they're like
They're not even taking it seriously.
Babylonian Tommy, are you almost done with the dream book? Yeah, I've got a couple more chapters. Well, hurry up, come on, mate. We're gonna go to the pub. All right, fine, fuck it. Give me a minute. I'll get the last couple done. All right. Okay. If a man dreams he's eating human flesh, Seru. Oh, what rhymes with Seru? Then he'll have a great riches. Saru. There you go. There's one done.
What is the nearest?
Yeah.
What's the nearest word?
Yeah. So if someone is given mihiru wood, a type of wood, he'll have no rival, which is mahiru.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Come on, mate, we go to the pub. All right, I'm going.
I can't say, like, I was excited when I heard that they were all pun based.
Yeah.
I'm less excited now.
Yeah, but you're not hearing them in the original language, though, mate. So it's going over your head.
Are you telling me that they're like
they're
world-ending, like?
Absolutely,
jokes?
They would have the people that are struggling to interpret their dreams slapping their knees.
Yeah. Oh, you dream book, you.
Yeah, it's not right though for us to take the piss out of someone's comedy from like ancient Babylonian times. I feel. It's
Why not?
It's poor form.
Where are you standing on this hill? Why is this the line you decide to?
I'm just not here to judge.
You're not here to judge.
I'm imagining a point in time, 2,000 years in the future, when someone like digs up our podcast from the ground somehow. And plays it, and they're like, "Oh, these guys are shit."
I don't think we need to go 2,000 years into the future for that.
These guys are shit. They're hardly doing any language-based puns.
I think that maybe we just need to be a bit more out there, and we'd get the same negative feedback.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I think we'd just get that. If we had listeners, we'd get negative feedback.
Yeah.
We don't have that, so it's fine.
So fuck you and fuck your negative feedback.
And your future people as well listening. Fuck you, especially.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so they offered also, alongside detailed guides for interpreting different dreams, they also offered rituals to alleviate bad dreams. Yeah, dreams were often classified into divine messages, or the reflection of health or of psychological state or prophecy. Yeah, so with this idea of prophecy, think about how often you have that idea of a prophetic dream. Yeah, not a pathetic dream, but a prophetic dream. Yeah. So in the Bible, for example, the biblical story of Joseph interpreting Pharaoh's dreams is another example of onimeracy happening. Yeah. Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat, etc. I don't remember in that thing. Do we actually get privy to his dreams at all?
Here's the thing, Carl.
Yeah.
With Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, I used to know the story quite well.
Yeah.
I then went to go see it at the MK Theatre.
Yeah.
And it was on a night that I don't think people were on their top form. And the sheep that were supposed to pop up, one of them didn't inflate.
Oh, brilliant.
So all I can think of is uninflated sheep.
Brilliant.
So the rest of the story's gone.
So that's what's the word? MK Theatre production of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, and an adult sex shop that's going out of business. And Venn diagram putting them together, uninflated sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Good stuff. Okay, so moving on.
Moving on, yeah. Everyone knows it gets a little bit crazy when we start Venn diagramming everything.
Absolutely. So, there is. Have you felt like you've had a prophetic dream?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, do kind of unconscious deja vu count?
Possibly. It all depends on when you have the deja vu and what it connects to.
Like while I'm having deja vu while I'm asleep.
Oh, okay. Possibly. Can you describe it in any more detail?
So you know the feeling of deja vu. I've been here before.
Yeah.
Had that exact same thing, and it's something feels really weird here, and then the next day, I'm recalling the dream, and I'm like, I've just dreamt about this.
Yeah.
and it's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, like, psychologically, I probably didn't dream about it. It's just my memory going, this is a familiar situation, right?
That's interesting.
Who's calling me at this time? Suspected spam.
Put him on.
I
Let's listen
absolutely.
to him.
Do you know what? One day I will. But
No.
I kind of love that my phone tells me that it's telemarketers now.
Yeah, that's good.
It's the best modern
Yeah, it's
invention.
good. We should get some
ever.
telemarketers to be like on our podcast and ask them about their dreams. It's like, yeah. I will change my mobile phone contract. I promise. But first, can you tell me about your dreams?
I 100% should have got them on. And
Yeah.
Is this Mr. McGarity? We're from Skynet.
So anyway, okay. I personally, out of all of the dream situations I've ever been in, the freakiest one was when I was quite young, and I had a dream that my head teacher had died.
Bloody hell.
The next day, I went to school, and my head teacher had died.
That's really weird. Like, how do you even...
Yes, and I've never been the same since. And it like you could say essentially, oh, maybe you're thinking things differently and things like that. Yeah. Honest to God, that is it. But you can't really, in that situation, tell many people that you had a dream about this. I do remember telling my close friend that ended up being the best man at my wedding. Known each other for a very long time. I do remember telling him that at that point in time. It's very much not a situation where in my memories everything's just got distorted. It was very strange and very freaky, and ever since I have always kind of believed in ESP. I've never had any other situation like that as well, but the idea of potentially being able to predict the future somehow seems like a possibility to me because of the experience I've had. But then again, like with all of these dreams and stuff like that, we've talked about the idea of like subconsciously you are picking up things and they end up being clues and things like that to these sort of like I guess prophetic dreams or whatever you end up having.
Yeah. I always come back to the idiom, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
Right? So your dreams could be feeding you millions of scenarios that you don't remember. But because that scenario came true, your brain is like, oh, we dreamt about that. Let's push it forward.
Yeah.
And that's like got prevalence, right?
Yeah. But I definitely did dream about that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is...
The night before.
You probably dreamt loads of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But because it didn't happen, your brain, like, suppresses it.
Yeah.
Whereas that thing did happen, so your brain gives that more precedence than the 500 other things you may have predicted in your dream.
Yeah. Now, scientists out there, if you do want to bring me in for any sort of like neuroimaging studies or things like that on my brain, I will be charging £1,000 per hour, okay? Willing to come with you to any sort of place to get that money, okay? Anyway, moving on.
Any place.
Any place. For
£1,000. That's your... Wow.
Do what you want to my brain.
Wow. I feel like I'd
Is that
be a
too
little
low?
bit more... Yes.
Okay,
yes.
all right. 1,010.
£1,000 million pounds.
So, interestingly, there's loads of biblical dream prophets and things like that going on. All of the revelations and all sorts of things like that. Like the stuff in Daniel about all of the political upheaval and things like that. Different world powers coming to an end and all sorts of things. They're prophetic dreams, but they're on a big scale. The very famous President Abraham Lincoln has... some interest around some of the dreams he had before he was assassinated. Yeah. So, a chap who was close to Abraham Lincoln, a chap called Lamont, he later recounted, and I think that's important to note, later recounted that the president shared the details of a dream with him. Yeah. In this dream, Lincoln found himself walking through the White House and making his way to the East Room. As he entered, he noticed a crowd of mourners gathered around a covered body, which was being guarded by soldiers. So curious, Lincoln approached one of the soldiers and asked, "Who's died?" And the soldier replied in a somber voice, "The president. He was killed by an assassin." So, Lincoln reportedly told Lamont about this vivid dream just days before his own assassination at Ford's Theatre in 1865. Now, the problem is that when did Lamont then recount this publicly?
Years later.
Yeah. And that's where the doubts lie. So the story was first published in the 1880s. So 1865 all the way to 1880, a big leap there. But I was thinking about it.
It'd be interesting to know if he was paid for it, because I'd like if he was paid for the story, then the validity goes out the window.
Yeah,
right?
you'd think that his political career is definitely on the way down at this point in time. If it's like the 1880s at this point, he's like perhaps coming close to retirement. But either way, it's an interesting anecdote. But you know, it's not necessarily that believable. But I was thinking about my own experience as that young chap who, like, you know, had that devastating news as he went to school that someone had died. Like literally, teachers were crying and things like that. I wasn't in a position where I could actually like tell anyone and then to believe me or anything like that. So it's just something you end up keeping to yourself, because at the time, if they don't believe you, that comes across as very poor taste, doesn't it? So there's two ways of looking at that, I guess. And I don't blame anyone for keeping that to themselves, really. But yeah, there is other dreams that Lincoln had around that time as well. His cabinet members would recall quite a few times where Lincoln would talk about his dreams. Including during the morning of his assassination, the president had mentioned a dream where he described himself sailing across an unknown body of water at a high speed.
Okay.
And a lot of people have said, "Oh, maybe that's like about his death and stuff like that." I don't necessarily see the connection there. I mean, like, if you're traveling, you're making progress in your life and you're moving forward.
Yeah.
If he was to be traveling at high speed and then something happened to the boat and he started sinking, then obviously, like, the momentum in your life has been dramatically cut short or something like that. That would make more sense. But anyway, it's interesting, you know.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, so there's that idea. I did mention the idea of talking about dream decoding and neuroimaging. So I'm just going to quickly go into that for yourselves. Okay, so there's a lot of scientific work being done to explore whether dreams, particularly visual content, can be decoded or reconstructed using neuroimaging. Okay, so for example, fMRI and EEG. For example, fMRI is functional magnetic resonance imaging, which measures brain flow through blood flow and oxygen levels. Yeah. So yeah, I don't exactly know how much information they can gain through MRI in that way, but it's interesting to know. The idea is that when a person sleeps, their brain produces patterns corresponding to visual imagery. Yeah. So if we map out those patterns, we could potentially reconstruct what the person was dreaming about. Yeah.
Good luck with mine.
I mean, like, you know, there is a certain pattern that forms when you think of vampires.
Yeah, maybe. But also sometimes I think of like massive giant bits of honeycomb with faces on it. Well, what pattern is that forming?
I mean, like, the only thing that's really going to be massively buzzing with you is the anime part of your brain. Yeah. That pattern, it's just the same. It's all anime. He's just basically got Crunchyroll like on repeat in his head.
Oh, he's isekai again.
Oh dear. Oh, he's got harem. You can tell by the tent in his trousers. Okay, so there is a book currently in preprint called "Making Your Dreams a Reality." It describes a framework to convert MRI data plus like dream reports into coherent video stories. Yeah, and with the idea of AI and reconstructing through AI and stuff like that, you know, the massive leaps and bounds with imagery and things like that that's being produced, it's going to happen essentially. That you'll be able to do that.
This feels very sci-fi, doesn't it? It feels like we're on the precipice of doing something that we probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, like, at this point in time, there's ethical concerns with it, and also, like, you know, you're not necessarily going to be able to interpret accurately what people are are seeing. You know, it's all subjective, isn't it? It's just like if you've got like a scan that's saying, "Oh, he's looking at a dog." It's like, okay, what's the dog doing? Can we even see that through that stuff? Well, obviously, you can't. So it's really sort of basic, and it's not necessarily that useful. But imagine a future where potentially, you know, Elon Musk manages to convince you to put some sort of like thing in your head.
Yeah.
And then like before you know it, you've got like adverts playing in your dreams and stuff like that. You know, they make fun of it in Futurama.
Oh, but also Dream Scenario has a whole ski on it.
Yeah. Is that an anime?
No, it's a Nicolas Cage film. It's an A24 film.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Oh, it's an A24 film, isn't it?
Yeah, so get off my fucking back, actually.
Yeah, and A stands for anime. Did you know that? Yeah.
And,
it's all
and
live
24
action anime.
is 24 hours a day, baby.
Anime 24 hours a day. That's my A24.
Anime, smoke and chill.
Oh dear. What if you could see someone else's dream? Is there any sort of privacy that we should have through dreaming?
100%. Keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah. It raises some strange questions. So, is dream content more than just neural patterns? And how much of the subjective feel, the emotions, the meaning, and stuff like that can actually be captured? Yeah. I think it's quite interesting. And obviously, I've had to rush through that because I did mention that I would talk about that as an offshoot to what you were saying.
Yeah.
We've been talking for 50 minutes.
Wow.
It's about time for us to have a little dream sleep.
Try and lure ourselves into a lucid dream. You ready? I'm going to take you through the first stage of hypnoticism.
Wait. Before we do, can we spoon?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be the big.
That's part of it.
No, you be the big spoon.
Are you saying that like hypnotists aren't supposed to get you comfortable and spoons at the back of you?
Possibly. It all depends.
I don't think I've had a professional hypnotist.
It all depends on how much you charge.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's us. I think we're ready to go.
That's us in this box.
So 3, 2, 1, back in the room.
Absolutely. We're coming out of Schrodinger's box, ready to extort children.
Yep. That's a good end.
And off we go.
Yeah. To extorting the world.
Thanks for listening. Here's a disclaimer. We are not experts. We can easily get things wrong in an episode. Our intention is to explore and open up the possibilities for further exploration. Come find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. We would love some interaction. Also, if you can consider supporting us on Patreon, that would help a bunch. Search for 2, that's number 2, Strange Men Pod, all one word. Until next time, keep it strange.